Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
With Goku's time drawing ever so closer in battling against the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse, his training with Whis now continues within the hyperbolic time chamber, with Whis looking to do anything and everything he could in order to push Goku further into evolving. As with time now continuing to trickle on down, the million-dollar question moving forward is, will Goku in fact be prepared enough in having to battle against his strongest opponents to date, or will he somehow during the midst of battle come up short in not being able to successfully pass against the 5 strongest? Now, before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball related, including its manga, anime, video games, fan animations, fan mangas, and more, in which would also like to be kept up to date with everything in regards to the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball video games, and any and all additional content within the Dragon Ball universe, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what the future holds for the Dragon Ball franchise. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and now let's dive straight into the video. As our story continues now inside the hyperbolic time chamber, with only 97 more days remaining until Goku ends up fighting the 5 strongest, to where with Goku now seemingly being very exhausted during his training, it was only upon having to take a brief moment to breathe where Goku went on to respond, "Oh man, this is nuts. I feel like I'm falling apart on my feet here, but I gotta keep going. My Ultra Instinct seems to be holding out a lot better than before, but I still can't seem to reach that level yet. It's strange to see how it just drops in and out like that when I least expect for it to happen, but once it shows up again, I gotta make sure to hold on to it instead of letting it go," he says. To where as soon as Goku then notices how there's a stray energy blast now making its way towards him from behind, Goku from that point then springs into action, as Goku went on to then continue, "Well, no time to waste then. I can sense that Whis is on the move, but I gotta turn this around or he's going to drop me again." In which, as Goku was then shown having to instinctively avoid the blast, Whis from that point went on to chime in, "You're quite evasive now that your body has fully adapted to the training we've done while inside, but there's way more to this than meets the eye, Goku. Though your reflexes have improved tremendously, let's see if your mind is just as sharp as your instinctive reaction to avoid the dangers that face you. Now then." "Oh crap, he's closing in fast," Goku went on to say to himself. "Wait a minute, could it really be? Yes, it has to be. Let's find out then. Focus, focus, Goku, breathe, breathe and relax," he says to himself. "This isn't the real Whis. I can feel him nearby," he says. "Don't move. It's all energy. The real one is behind me." To where instead of reacting and attacking Whis' clone, what Goku ended up doing instead was Goku was able to in fact calm himself enough in sensing the real Whis nearby, to which upon contact with Whis' clone now being shown vanishing, the real Whis from that point went on to respond, "Very good. So it looks like your training is starting to finally pay off," he says. "You reacted just as I wanted you to, Whis. Whis continues, which means your senses have finally been sharpened since we first started training. And I took what you said to me and tried to feel out my surroundings to make sure that I wasn't fighting some kind of a clone, and so I was right, Goku says. I was even able to sense the vibration within the atmosphere to determine where you were going to be and if it was really you or not, Goku continues. And if I didn't sharpen my senses, then I would have attacked a decoy, with Whis responding, the key to victory lies within the mind. If you are unable to overpower any of the 5 that you will face, then you will need to outsmart them and win by using a different method of approach, he says. So now furthermore, I want you to try and come at me now, Whis continues. You may try the same tactic of creating a decoy, but I'm pretty sure you already know by now that this won't work on me, though you could try and see, Whis says. To which, as Goku was then shown on the move, that was when Goku went on to respond, no, actually, I'm going to try and come at you myself. I'm not here to create decoys and clones, Goku continues. I'm here to transcend beyond this level and win against the 5, with Whis responding, oh, very good, Goku, that's the spirit. Well, hang on then, because this is going to be a little rough. To which a little later on, as only 74 days now remain until Goku ends up fighting against the 5 strongest, Goku is now seen having to do push-ups all by himself upside down with one finger, as Whis went on to respond, that's right, nice and easy, only 3 more and you will finally reach 1 billion push-ups. Now go on, and remember what I told you about keeping your core nice and tight for me, Whis continues. Come on, down. Gosh, it sure doesn't make things any easier knowing that I'm doing this while it's 100,000 times normal Earth gravity. Well, complaining won't help you reach your goal here, so you should be more determined to finish more than anything else, so let's go, come on. And there we are. To where the catch was upon Goku now being shown doing these push-ups, where Whis was shown striking Goku's stomach over and over again, as Whis went on to continue, well, that certainly looks like it's going to leave a mark, but remember what I told you, keep your core nice and tight for when I decide to strike you. I'm not going to let up until you either finish or you fall down, so come on. Hey, could you lighten up a bit? I can feel my organs nearly burst. 2 more to go, come on. But even then, Whis was not shown letting up whatsoever, because upon Whis being shown striking Goku with his staff yet again, it was as Whis wanted for Goku to finish, where Whis went on to continue, good. Only 1 more after this, so I'm going to let you know that I'm going to hit you a lot harder than I did before, so you might want to brace yourself moving forward, with Goku responding, this is insane. I'd rather be fighting the 5 strongest than get struck in the stomach like this. 1 more. To where once again, a little later on, as only 61 days now remain until Goku's big day of fighting against the 5 strongest, he was only then shown struggling while tugging forward and pulling these massive spheres along with him, as Whis was shown sitting on top by responding, that's right, Goku, keep pulling. I figured having you pull 3 octillion worths should be significant enough. Now remember what I said, I'm aiming for your head, and so you know what to do, so just be ready. Gee, thanks, Whis. You sure seem to be having a lot of fun at my pain up there. Well, you did great so far, but with a little more weight added onto your shoulders, I figured that we would go and make this a bit more fun, wouldn't you agree? And so now then, let's see, how are we going to do this? And for your sake, I hope you turn into the right direction. Now let's see here. Whoops, my finger slipped there, he says. To which, fortunately enough, with Goku doing it exactly as Whis had instructed, he was instinctively now able to avoid this blast by leaning on over it and having to move his head, as Whis went on to continue, oh look, you avoided it, very good. No pain, no gain, am I right, Goku? You're doing good. And so now, how about we pick up the pace for a little bit? Watch it now, he says. To where now with Whis being shown firing multiple blasts down at Goku, with Goku being shown having to dodge each and every single one of them, it was fairly evident now that Goku was beginning to make tremendous amounts of progress moving forward, as Goku went on to respond, yeah, that won't be working on me this time. Looks like you missed, huh, Whis? And I can see the finish line, and once I cross it, I pass the test. To which, as their training now continues, with 44 days now remaining, it would only now appear as though with Goku becoming a Great Ape once again, in struggling to control his power as Whis had instructed, it was just when Whis was instructing him to do so where Whis went on to shout, "You almost got it, Goku. Don't let go. Listen to me. You have to bring that power towards you, not let it slip through your fingertips." Oh dear. Well, at least I tried, and down he goes again. Well, at least he came close this time, but sadly, it wasn't close enough to get what we came here for, unfortunately. Well, at least his tail is no longer a weakness that he has to worry about, but sadly, he still couldn't quite merge the two powers like I wanted. Oh, easy now. Back down into your normal form you go. Nice and easy, Whis says. In which, as soon as Goku is now shown having to revert back down to his humanoid form, that's when Goku went on to ask, What happened? I thought I had it. So where did that power go? Was I any different than before? How can I find a way to hold that power within? Well, you'll need to try and find the middle ground within your consciousness so that way you can bring the two powers together, but you're doing better than before. However, that really isn't saying much when it comes down to you're doing better than before. However, that isn't really saying much when it comes to this grade 8 form of yours, Goku. Up now, come on, Whis says. We aren't done, and time is slowly ticking away. Now back to battle we go. To which a little later on, as we then see how there are only 27 days now remaining, it was only upon Goku being shown having to avoid each and every single one of Whis' strikes where Whis went on to then respond, "Good, you're getting faster and faster, and so maintain this exact momentum," he says. "In the midst of chaos, use your speed as a way to pull yourself out of the fire, and so now ready? Go!" Whis shouts as he proceeded to kick Goku, with Goku being shown having to leap out of the way. It was just upon Goku now being shown having to do so where Whis went on to respond, "Well, so far so good. Now quickly, respond while using your speed as a boost." To where as Goku did, because upon having to attempt to strike Whis from behind with Whis being shown grabbing onto Goku's punch, it was just before Whis was then shown having to flip Goku on forward where Whis went on to respond, "Oh, well, that was a little too slow, but much better than what it was when you tried this on me before, Goku, but I will need you to keep your eyes glued onto me at all times. Now, once again, act on your instincts to respond or fall. Now, Goku, quickly respond," with Goku commenting, "This is almost too much. Bro, the way his body moves like that is insane. Oh, but at least I can see it all now so it doesn't come to me as a surprise." To where once again, as Whis was shown attempting to strike Goku, with Goku using that very speed to his advantage in avoiding each and every single one of Whis' strikes, was when Whis went on to continue, "Sharp, just as I wanted for you to be, but tell me, Goku, do you remember the second part of this lesson that I told you about?" "Yeah, I do," Goku responds. "Always keep the eyes in the back of your head wide open." In which, surprisingly enough, as Whis attempted to use his own staff as a means of attacking Goku from behind, it was just upon Goku now all of a sudden being shown vanishing where Whis went on to respond, "Yes, good, very, very good. You were getting dropped just a little while ago, but here you are now turning things around on me during this. Excellent. Oh, and you also moved behind me in the process of it all too. Now I wonder who taught you that one, Did I make it a little too obvious when I just suddenly vanished like that?" Goku asks. "You did mention how I'm much faster than I ever was before, and I think this proves it, don't you think?" "Well, yes, you are," Whis responds, "but I was able to see you move. So now instead of just waiting behind me, try and attack me the next time you were able to catch me when I'm not looking, so that way you can actually then put yourself ahead of the rest. So now then, let's get right back to it," Whis continues. To which a little later on, as time is shown ticking away with only 8 days now remaining, Goku had now appeared as though he was at war with his own mind as Whis was using this now against him, as Whis went on to respond, "Just like that, Goku, fight it. Throw away all of your weaknesses and protect your mind and body from being used against you. Tell your mind that it is strong enough to resist. Your body will follow as soon as your mind is where it needs to be," he says. "As I order your mind to be used against you, I want you to continue to resist no matter what," Whis continues. "If either one of the 5 is able to bait your mind and trick you into fighting against yourself, then you will lose. Remember what I told you about what you need to do, Goku. See through the magic that is seeping within your mind and counter this by using your own inner power against it. Do it now or you will be destroyed in the process. The choice is yours to make," with Goku responding, "I hear you, and I won't lose. I must find a way. To where, shockingly enough, within that moment, as Goku was now shown erupting with rage as a faint halo was now shown hovering around his neck, this was now exactly what Whis wanted to see come from Goku, as Whis went on to respond, and there it is again. Now Goku, hold it. Grab onto this power and don't let go. It's there. Now just hold on to... oh goodness. But once again, it was already too late, because with Goku now shown dropping on down to a knee, that's when Goku went on to respond, Whis, I'm sorry. I just couldn't hold it. I couldn't. Well, at least you tried, but you managed to break free from my mind control, so well played, Whis says. To where finally now by the very end, as only one day now remains before Goku's battle against the 5 strongest, we then see how Whis was beginning to approach Goku with a bottle of water, as Whis went on to then tell him, you look disheveled and exhausted, Goku, but nevertheless you were able to do what no other could've, so I thought you might want to drink up and relax for a moment, he says. I truly didn't think that you would have lasted this long, let alone do as I instructed of you while inside, but alas, your training with me is finished, with Goku asking, so it's over? And to think that I was able to somehow hold out for as long as I did without dying. Well, even if you died, I would have simply brought you back so you can do it all over again, but here, you've earned this, Whis says. You were able to check every single one of the boxes that I was hoping for you to check off, well, minus of course 2 of them, but there is only so much that we can do while only given a year to prepare, so here you go. Thanks, Whis. So you said that I did it, but momentarily, is that right? Evolving, you mean? Yes, Whis continues. On the 3rd day, in fact, I saw what I needed to see, and though you failed to fully transition into what I wanted to see from you, it was just the right step into having you do it when the time calls for it, he continues. Only, next time I will need for you to do it the way I had told you to do it, understand? Your perfected Ultra Instinct form is stronger now than it ever was before, but it's not just your form that is stronger, but your mind, body, and spirit are all more powerful as well. If you remember what we talked about and use these skills to your advantage without giving either of them time to run you down into the ground, then you have a chance. While training you, I noticed many great changes begin to take place over you, Whis continues. Your body has adapted through it being put through so much pain that at least you are now able to contest without being taken out within the first few moments of battle. Your resiliency is strong and your mind is as sharp as a sword, he says. Though I'm not quite sure on what either of the 5 strongest will try on you when you fight them, but at least now you have a better and clear understanding of what you will be going up against, so that way you can prepare. Not many can say they've walked down the path of an angel in training to wield power like one, but you, on the other hand, have, Whis continues. Now we only have less than a day remaining, so I will let you choose on what we do next. So now come, tell me, what would you like for us to do before your big moment calls for you? With Goku responding, actually, Whis, would it be okay if we go back to Earth and just stay there for a little while? It's more of a personal thing, and so I just want to be back home for a bit before I go with you to fight the strongest warriors. With Whis responding, you wish to go back home, not to train, I imagine, do you? Well, not really. I just want to enjoy the beauty of it all before we leave. As Whis responds, I see. Indeed, a very unusual and yet interesting request, but nevertheless, so be it then. Let us not waste these precious moments then and make them count before the call is made. And I take it that this is more of a mental thing for you, but I won't ask any further. Do you plan on doing anything while we wait on Earth, Goku? With Goku responding, well, I actually wanted to meditate for a little bit and just focus more on the things we talked about while enjoying the view, so that's pretty much it for now. Right then, Whis responds, so it shall be while we have time. Right this way then, Goku. Oh, and while we're back on Earth, do try and embrace everything while you're still able to, Whis continues. If you lose this upcoming tournament against the 5, then you will be destroyed, just as the Grand Minister said, so do make the most of your time while we're here. With Goku responding, right, I understand. I never meant to disrespect any of the strongest, including the Grand Priest, so I know that rules are rules, and so I think I'll be ready as I keep that in the back of my head. Good, because as you will need to fight as though your life depends on it. Well, because it does. A clouded mind is what leads the body down the path of weakness. You will need to use everything if you hope to win, Whis says. Hey, what happens if I actually beat all 5 of them during this, Whis, Goku asks. Would that make me the strongest warrior alive? Or the strongest in history? Well, don't get too ahead of yourself now, Goku. Baby steps. And here we are. Oh wow, get a load of that fresh air. It felt like forever since I've been away, and so I'm glad to be back, Goku says. Kinda takes me back a bit to some of the good old days, with Whis responding, as I'm sure it does. So now then, Goku, what do you wish to do and where do you wish to meditate? With Goku responding, well, I'm not sure actually, but oh, that looks like a really neat spot up there. It probably looks like it has a really good view too. It's crazy to know that it all started here, Goku continues, on this planet where I was meant to be something completely other than whom I am now. Now I can't tell you about the countless memories that I made on this planet, and I would do anything to protect it. This planet was what saved my life after all, and so it's only right if I were to have one last day with her before I roll the dice on my life. After knowing what you already know, how much does this world and everyone on it mean to you, Whis questions? Is this a world where you are willing and ready to put your life at risk to save, dare I even say, your soul, Goku? It is, Goku responds. This planet and the people whom I love are all that I have. And so whether it was my own brother Raditz who turned against me, or Frieza, Cell, or Majin Buu, Moro, or Broly, and even Lord Beerus, I could never let anything happen to it so as long as I'm around. And though I understand that it might seem impossible for me to do, I will still use everything that makes me who I am to fight for the right to protect this world and everyone on it, Goku says. And if it means clashing against some of the mightiest warriors in the entire multiverse, then, well, I will go as far as my mind, body, and spirit will take me until I secure that victory. I'm not sure what exactly is waiting for me out there, but I know that whatever it may be, I'll be ready to see it through until the very end, Goku continues. I never got the feeling that any of the 4 that I met through the Grand Priest were evil or had a dark heart, but instead, all I felt was pure strength and raw power that was emanating from their very core. It was power the likes of which I had never felt in my entire life before. And so now it only goes as far as to tell me that if those guys can do it, then so can I. I just need to concentrate and see how I'm going to do this, regardless of the outcome, Goku continues. I've made it this far without giving up, and so I might as well finish the race while the gas tank is full. And there's not a lot of time left, so I better get right to it before they call me up to fight then. As Whis went on to chime in, oh, you truly are something, I will say, Goku. I'm sure that you can tell by now that this is not going to be anything like you have dealt with before. Yet you remain calm and focused, aware and determined to see this all through. And that is exactly the way of an angel, especially those who have the heart to do what is needed of them during dire times. Throughout it all, however, I will be right there with you, watching as you battle against warriors who are much more than you can imagine. And if you beat them despite the way you are able to do it, then you will truly be remembered as being among the greats, Whis says. In time, we will see if you have what it takes, but I will leave you to your business until... Oh, and what's this? Whis went on to question. A call? Now I wonder who that can be. Ah, yes, but of course, Whis continues. Greetings, Lord Beerus. It's been quite a bit of time since you and I have last seen each other. And what matters could I be here to assist you with, Whis questions. Now I take it that Vegeta is still training with you, with Beerus responding, and I'm assuming Goku hasn't dropped dead yet now, has he? So tell me, did your little student finally do it, Beerus questions? Did the idiot finally transcend and unlock his own version of Ultra Instinct, or did he flop again? Because boy, oh boy, let me tell you something, a lot has changed since you two were away, especially with my student, Vegeta. Now what about yours? With Whis responding, well actually, Lord Beerus, a lot has changed with Goku since you've last seen him as well. He's sitting right behind me as he meditates for a bit before the call is made for him to leave, so I'd say Goku here is far beyond where he was before, Whis continues. And well, as for his evolution, well, I guess we'll just have to keep that a secret until maybe you can see it for yourself, won't we? Oh please, Goku wasn't the only Saiyan who evolved since you were gone. Vegeta here is also nothing like where he was before either, so you can forget it, Beerus says. He didn't do it now, did he? Go on, say it, because Vegeta here was able to master his ultra ego, so what about Goku? Cough it up, Whis, I know you're holding out on me, with Whis responding, well, maybe I am and maybe I'm not. Hard to tell, my lord. I will say this much, as I do acknowledge Vegeta's shift in power with a great deal of respect, that Goku here has become so strong that he even far eclipses you in power as well now. Ho, I know what he's capable of, and I have no doubt that he will be able to hold his own against the 5 strongest once the time calls for him to be summoned. And Beerus was not having it, especially after the remarks in which Whis had just made, as Beerus went on to shout, "How dare you talk to me like that, Whis? You know better than to ever compare that Saiyan's power to mine, so now shut your mouth or I'll go over there and shut it for you, do you understand? This conversation between us is over." Oh goodness, he's always so loud and so very aggressive whenever I bring Goku up, Whis says. Well, maybe he will have a chance to see Goku's power for himself if Goku manages to survive by the end of all of this, but we will see, as all a while back with the Grand Priest, it would only now appear as though Goku's time in fighting against the 5 strongest has nearly come, with the Grand Priest having to utter, "I can sense that the final hour of the Saiyan's battle against the mightiest in the multiverse has now entered its final minutes." And with that, his time is essentially up and his greatest challenge looms closer, he says. "Then it shall be as I call forth the 4 strongest in preparation for this great battle. You have a little less than 1 hour, the Grand Priest continues, and I truly hope that you are ready and have gathered enough battle knowledge that will last you, because for your sake, if you have any hope of winning against either of us, then I truly hope that you are ready for what's to come," as it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse manga chapter number 27 special then comes to a close. Now this is it, Goku had now finally completed his training, in just about now being less than an hour away from his big battle against the 5 strongest in the multiverse, as it also seemingly appears as though Whis may in fact know of something that not even Goku or even Lord Beerus are aware about. If there's one thing that you cannot doubt, it is Whis' ability in pushing Goku far enough in seeing everything he had gone through, as with the pace now beginning to pick up, I cannot wait to show you guys as to what is about to transpire coming up in the upcoming manga chapter, to where again, if you want to be the first to see everything exclusively before anybody else, then do consider becoming a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/UnrealEntGaming. The link to that will be located down in the description box below and pinned comment section as well, to where on there, not only will you guys be able to see all of the upcoming previews and gain exclusive access to so many things that you won't be able to do on here, but I also go as far as to share with you guys my upcoming projects and give back so much more. So again, I appreciate all those that are members of my Patreon and for those that end up joining. So once more than anything else, I do want to thank you all so much for your support and your patience, because putting these together in such a way by yourself with one other person is by no means easy. So to that, all I can really say to all of you is thank you so much, to where again, if you just so happen to be new to this channel, then be sure to smash that subscribe button and give this video a big fat thumbs up right now by slapping that like button down below. Tune back in for the next episode, and with that being said, I'm going to be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy everybody and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.